yummy goodness. His father is the author of the 4 agreements that completely changed my life, and he is the author of the 5th agreement, carrying on the lineage of his father. And it's such an honor to have him here on this land and to bless us with his wisdom that has come down through his DNA and through his life experience. So I'm super, super honored to have him here. Thank you so much. Please welcome Don Jose Ruiz.
Thank you, everybody, for your love. You know, in the tribe that I come from, it's called Toltec. And of course, the word Toltec means artist. And I feel just at home because I see every art of the expression of the heart. And it's just an honor to be here with everybody. I say just have to have my deepest gratitude because this is what we're here in this earth to do. To express the art and not let the tyrant stop us from creating our art. And you know who's the tyrant? It was ourselves when we stopped believing in our true source, because the true source that was hidden from us, you can see the big dream of the planet throwing negativity, negativity, negativity to stop the positivity. But deep down inside, an artist is fully inspired because it's driven with positivity. And with positivity, you can see in all traditions, Maya, Tibetan, you go on, and the whole source is to be positive. And when we allow this, we can transform our dream to truly understand the true meaning to be alive is to express ourselves just like we are and go beyond fear. That fear that has paralyzed us, like my grandmother used to say. You know, in the desert, there is a sacred being that God put into every human, and that sacred is the scorpion, because the scorpion is the big teacher. Because when the scorpion stops stinging itself with its own tail, it will find freedom. And what is tail represent? The poison. So the moment that we stop giving ourselves our own poison, we will be free. Free from what? Free from lies. Free from the domestication that was put into us from the dream of the planet that goes generation to generation and generations ago. Well, we are alive right here, and we're ready to make a change, and no one can stop us, because the only thing that we're here to do is be like the Father Son. And you know, in the Inca tradition in Peru, they have a whole meaning of this. When the conquistadors went to find the Valley of the Sun, of the Golden Suns, you know, they didn't find it because they were expecting metal, and they never really understood that the real gold is us, is our heart. And the moment we understand this, then we enter the mastery of love, because we enter the dream of forgiveness. Not the forgiveness if, not the I love you if, no, forgiveness completely. Because right now we can forgive someone who's going to go against us tomorrow or in 5 years. How can we take them personally? Because they're human. To take things personally is human. To put poison is human. So we forgive them now because we understand this language, because we are human as well. But we know that we have a heritage. And that heritage was jealousy, envy, hatred. And with that entity, we poison ourselves. So now with awareness, we look at completely forgiveness for everything, because that's the point of view of the Creator. Children will be children. And the moment that one wakes up is the day that's going to stop hurting themselves with what is in the outside. I remember my teacher, my mentor, my father, when I used to hurt myself with something go outside of me, some problem outside of me, and I was hurting myself with, you know what he said to me? He said, look at you with big ego. Look at your personal importance. Everything that goes around this world is because of you, huh? We are programmed to hurt ourselves with what's going out in life. And that is the moment when the scorpion wakes up. And it's not mad at the poison, it feels the poison. but it's not stinging itself with anymore. And this is the first rule that exists in the tradition of the Toltec to live a positive life, is to be aware that we're not happy all the time. Because something happens when we feel unhappy, when we feel uninspired. And this is when the meaning of life appears. Because I know the meaning of life. I know the meaning of my life. And it's to take care of Jose. Because I know what makes Jose happy, and I know what makes Jose suffer. And how do I know that? Because I am Jose. And the moment I realized that is when everything started to change. And I'm so happy because last year they said that it was the end of the world. And it was an end of the world as we know it. Because a new world is being rebirthed. And that's the true soul of us. And that's positivity. That's the new dream. And you know, we don't have to go and conquer or fight the government or fight whoever's in charge. No. What we have to do is start in our own home and rebuild culture. Because you know, when wars get started, it's because somebody screamed at somebody in their own home. Somebody passed poison in their own home, and that went to the schools, that went to the workplace, that went everywhere. And when we come into the place of understanding this information, we can totally see that every tool is everywhere around us. All the canvases, all the equipment, all the brushes, all the paints are around us, and we are the artists. Now, here's the question. What art are we going to do? And when we do that art, are we going to possess ourselves with that art, obsessed with that art, attached to that art? No. This is the beautiful thing about living life, to live detached, to share. And this is what I love, all the traditions coming together. Because just like in the Tibetans, when they put their heart and love to create the sand mandala, they put all their love at the end. They blow it. And they start again because they're not attached to the art, because they can build it wherever they go. Because this is what we are. We are messengers from heaven. And you know what's so beautiful? Heaven and hell is in this earth. It's really choosing negative or positivity. What are you going to bring to the altar? And forget bringing candles and flowers. No. What are you bringing to life? Everywhere you go is the altar. And it's the time when we take our hat off and we bow to the dream of the planet. We bow to negativity because it showed us how to be positive. Like my grandma say, in life, there isn't a saint that wasn't a sinner first. And a sinner is the one who goes against their own life and against the people they love. And when they tasted that and it didn't feel okay, that is when the new language was created. And forget the language of English, Spanish, French, you name it. No, it's how we use the word, how we are impeccable with our word. Because you know, envy, hatred is a language, jealousy is a language, and especially that causes envy and gossip. Gossip, the poison that exists in this world, the disrespect of the artist. And the moment that we stop participating in this language, our world would change. Because you know, I met many great masters from Tibet, from India, from Mexico, from Peru, many great shamans, healers. But you know what? I noticed something interesting. What goes around them, because they're like a honeycomb and bees circle them around honey, is because they're just positive, and everything that's negative will dissolve in presence. And you know what's something beautiful? I was raised in Tijuana and grew up in the barrio of Tijuana, and in that place, you know, you are in a gang because you just live in that neighborhood, but it's because of the pure pressure of life. But the moment that I was walking, I found a great master in that same neighborhood that's equal to everybody. And then I continue walking, and I find masters everywhere. Masters that they don't care to have a picture in an altar. Masters who don't care to have the words. They're just living life. And why is this become master? It's because they're grateful to be alive. I believe in miracles. And I have proof right here, right now. We're all alive. That's a miracle. How many family members, friends are not here in this earth anymore? And with this awareness, how many times do we hurt ourselves with their passing? Creating a good story to hurt ourselves. The feelings is real, but the story is not. Could you imagine that instead of our loved ones dying, it was us? And we see our loved ones, our beloveds, suffering, hurting themselves for our death. If we can give them what message? If we can give them what message, what would it be? Common sense, respect, and be grateful, and really accept the mastery of death. And what's the mastery of death? It's not only when a body drops, no. The mastery of death is when we lose a relationship, when we lose a job. The mastery of death is to not hurt ourselves with that and to have gratitude, because if that relationship didn't end, if that person didn't die, that meant they will never live and will never experience that love. We forget to have the beautiful parts because we collect something that life teaches us, and it is to suffer. And then we become addicted to suffering. That's why we are sometimes the scorpion that stings itself with its own poison. But the moment is transforming, because we all been taught by the same teacher. And the teacher, it is life. No excuses. It's there. You know exactly what's going on in your mind. And to really listen to you is to open the sacred heart and plant your seeds to really make a change for yourself. Because just imagine, once again, that you died and that you are in heaven, in a cloud, just in lotus position, seeing the beauty everywhere. And then all of a sudden, you find the presence of the big boss, the creator, whatever you want to name him, coming to you. And he said to you, I only brought you to this place to send you back where you belong. But when you wake up, you will find something very interesting. You will wake up with my body. So how you treat yourself is how you're treating me. And after waking up, after seeing all the temptations, a human wakes up and says, heaven doesn't need heaven. Salud. Who needs heaven is hell. And we will take heaven wherever we go in hell. This is the whole story of Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, in Teotihuacan, Mexico, of the Toltec tribe. It's a snake that just crawls, and everybody's saying, you cannot fly, you can never reach the sky, you can never touch the sun. You're just a snake. But that, again, that snake got inspired, that he stopped listening to the outside. He began filtering, because his positivity was his intent and will, and nothing's going to stop him, because he knew that no one can stop himself. And the moment that he understood this, that if no one in this world he gives the attention to and the power to, nothing can stop him, because if he doesn't judge himself, no one else can judge him. And the judgments will die in that mind. But of course, there will be many lines, throwing the judgment, the judgment, the judgments. This is what I like about the story of Siddhartha when he's on the Bodhi tree. All these arrows, the poison arrows are coming to him, and he's turning them into roses. And this is the beauty of the mastery of love. This is what Quetzalcoatl did. He didn't believe them, but he didn't take them personal, because that's a domestication that you cannot change, because you're a snake, is a snake walk. But no, he said, I'm going to touch the sun. And when he touched the sun, he merged with that beautiful bird, got the wings, and that it is coming home. But this is the beautiful part. When he came back, He saw everything as an illusion because he is already home. Because this body is home. And wherever we take it, it's always there, loyal to us. Even when we go against it, it's still loyal to us. But the moment when you realize that you only live for, let's say, 100 years to maxim it up, you know, if you are planning your vacation, how are you going to plan it? How are you going to plan your stay in this earth? This is when the Toltec knew that they were the artists, because they were creating their art with whatever they see. And from one moment, they knew they were the purifiers and the filtering machines of what? Of negativity. In front of their face, it said, just show me negativity, I'll make it positive. It's like they say, who's afraid of the truth? The lie. Because it cannot live where the truth it is. This is when we go to bed at night. We can lie to everybody in the world. But when we go in bed at night, we cannot lie to the I of God. Or should I say, we cannot lie to the I am. And when you get tired of wearing a mask, is when you really want to live your dream. And this is what we hear in Life 4, to speak our mind, to speak our truth, to speak what is in our heart. And how many times in this humanity has one person believing what it believed in his heart and took a chance and went against the dream of the planet, against the automatic dream? One of my greatest heroes is Gandhi. He believed it, he walked it, and the seed is still alive. And that seed little in us, because we are carrying the torch. And the torch, it is in our hands. And you know what? This torch is going to be passed to the little ones. And the torch is only simple as how we're living our life. Because they're learning, just like we did. It's time to wake up in this new dream. You know, to be impeccable with our word. That is the real magic. They talked to me about the hocus pocus of the Toltec dream. You know, that is beautiful in that time. But in this time, you know, I have so much respect. Because just imagine, in that time, there was no internet, no radio, no television, no way of communication. It was just done with imagination. And with imagination, we've always been afraid of the unknown. And we create stories. But in this time, you know, the torch being passed to us with such honor and truth. And our point in life is to romance the love of our life. And yes, sometimes it's beautiful to think that the love of our life is somewhere outside of us, but no. The love of our life is ourselves. Because that's the person who's going to be with us to the end. People come and go. Even family come and go. But we're here to the end. And the moment we feel this is when the alignment happens. It's when the double ethereal becomes only one. And it's when we really have an out-of-body experience. And the out-of-body experience, forget about waking up, feeling a little pressure and waking up and seeing your body sleep. No, forget about that. The real out-of-body experience is when you watch your automatics. When you begin watching yourself and seeing the things you like to do and the things you don't want to do. And from this point of view is when the third eye opens. And if you know in the paintings, there's a pyramid in the third eye making a balance from the sun. And the third eye is put in our forehead. And in reality, there's no eye in the forehead. But there is the space in between. The place of infinite. The place where dreams are born, and that's our mind. That's our home. Because when we close our eyes, this is the whole creation where dreams are born. It's up to us. If we take action, it will manifest. But if we don't take action, it will never manifest. This is why the Toltec is a nautical word for artists. Because we're creating our art wherever we go. We're perceiving light. And we are delivering light because we glow. And now comes one of the agreements that was a bit challenging. And that one is, don't take things personal. because we were trained to take everything personal, especially in the bar in my neighborhood. What a lie. What a lie. You know, what war was I fighting? Were we fighting? Whose war are we fighting? When we come to that point, we say, you know what? I don't want to be a warrior. Warriors fight. I want to be now a peacemaker. Peace with myself. For every time I have a temptation to go and do war and take it personally, I say no. No. Even if I feel the attention, no. Even if I have a good excuse, I go to the sky and say, good one. But no. Breaking those automatics is such a heaven point of view, because it is will against temptation. This is when we break the system. This is when we break the curse. This is when we finally open our eyes and no longer hurt ourselves. And when we don't hurt ourselves, we no longer hurt the people that we say we love. If we say we love them, let us not say it in words. Let's say it in action. Because that it is where the complete heart completely opens. And positivity is just that beautiful snake that believed in itself and gave itself a dream of full potential and touched the sun and shared the sun wherever they go. And with that conscious awaken, it finds the assumptions, that automatic voice happening. And you know, for me, making assumptions is like making science fiction tales in my head. Stories that are not real. Just like in a relationship. You feel the jealousy, you create all these stories and they're not real. But you know what? You're making them real. You're making what you fear real. So be aware of all the temptation that you offer yourself with negativity. This is where you stand to protect yourself from yourself. And that's the ultimate prayer, to wake up in the fourth agreement. And the fourth agreement is my favorite one, because it's the one we do action, and it's when we do our best. Always do our best. And just listen to this. I repeat myself again. If we do our best, how can we judge ourselves? How can we put ourselves? We only have 1 cup of water, and that's all we could give. We will not punish ourselves for not having a jar of water. This is to do what is inside of us and share it with our loved ones. But this is the beautiful part. Every time we share with our loved ones, we are sharing with ourselves, because in the Toltec tradition, we believe that we're all one, and we're all a mirror, inspiring ourselves. God, feeding God to create God, or life, feeding life to create life. And here we are now. But something beautiful happens. Awareness kicks in, to be aware that we are so intelligent as human beings that we will create any excuse to justify our lie to not take action. This is when you finally wake up. There's only one key to unlock all doors, and that is respect. Respect yourself, because no one has the right to scream at you and put you down. And if you respect yourself, you're not going to allow no one to disrespect you, and you're not going to go and fight them. It's a waste of time to fight. It takes 2 hands to clap. It takes 2 people to fight. But what if one stops fighting? It's end. You're not being the reflection that's being offered. Then the mirror begins to be clean from the smoke, because you truly now see the source, and you all feel it. You all are it. We all are it. We are positivity inside a bottle. But you know what? I love that that bottle got on top, and lightning struck inside of that. And that lightning is our love. And here we are now. The second coming of the Buddha, second coming of the Christ, the return of Quetzalcoatl. It was just named because the real return is the return of our authenticity, to live free. And when we begin living this way, we can totally find culture resurrected. The real culture. Just look at all of us. We are one culture. Sharing our art, sharing our beauty, celebrating life. And this is the moment that we will expand our love. Like right now, we're eagles that came from different places into one big nest. We celebrate, we inspire ourselves, and we will fly from wherever we come from. But that love, that merging, it will be expanded, because we are the messengers. That's what I believe, because I believe in angels. And I believe that humans are the angels. And angel means messenger. Now here's the question. What kind of messenger are you? What message you're giving to the people you say you love? What it is you're offering to the altar. And when you find that out, we can totally see, my God, I'm a natural lover of dreams. No matter what dream it is, but we are inspiring ourselves because we live under the tree of life. And the tree of life is not necessarily how they painted to us with the root, the tree, the leaves. No, the tree of life is everywhere we go, because everywhere we're collecting the fruit and we are eating it and we are sharing it. And now it's a whole transition to really expand the mastery of love. And the mastery of love is just the mastery of ourselves. This is the beautiful dream. To completely wake up and see the altar from different point of views. There's nothing to debate. There's nothing to prove. The truth doesn't care to be proven. The truth just cares to be alive. The truth doesn't want validation from nobody. The truth just shines. Just like Papa, the sun. It shines on, and Mother is receiving the love of life and being nurtured. Just like the trees, the plants everywhere. But something that was given to us was free will. Free will to what? Free will to marry life. And you know, when you marry life, it's for better or worse. You're only responsible for your half. Let your beloved free to do whatever it's going to do. Because the moment that we stop controlling somebody outside of us is when we let them free. And if we let them free, we let ourselves free. Because freedom is our source for that snake to merge and turn itself into Quetzalcoatl, that feathered serpent. The resurrection I believe in. Because I believe in resurrection. But I believe resurrection in the same life. We're little, we're born on program. The program starts happening, one heartbreak after another heartbreak, until we decide, no more. I will no longer speak this language. I will no longer, because I am totally loyal for the love of my life. The resurrection has happened. And by just you being loyal to the love of your life, it's contagious. It's contagious. And wherever we go, we will give this message. But remember, we are so intelligent as human beings that we will create any excuse to justify, to not walk our own path, to stop our path. But nothing can stop us now. I'm not sorry to say, once you wake up, you can no longer go back to sleep. Because you know what you're doing. Because you have awareness. And this is the beautiful part of the snake that I love. The snake sheds its skin. And we shed our skin as well. We leave dreams behind. Could you imagine that the snake will collect its dead skin and drag it wherever it goes? It lets it go. We as humans, we punish ourselves for the same mistake 1,000 times. Because we're addicted to suffering, because that's in our program. But the moment that we wake up, it's completely different. This is why many people who have that experience, they become enlightened and aware It's because life gave him a big slap in the face and then said, you're still alive. And everything that we took personal, every little drama that we participated in, is become flavorless. Why? Because we are in gratitude to be alive. Because we were the miracle that we were looking for. We were the miracle that we've been waiting for. And the miracle is right here in this universe. And this universe is now. Our mind is our gift. Our mind is a temple. Would you go to a temple and, disrespect it? Or let others disrespect it? No. It's your temple. It deserves that unconditional love, because that's where we play ourselves. And this is the journey of the Toltec when we did the flight of the eagle. And the flight of the eagle, the question is, where is the eagle going to land? When the eagle is our attention. And when we notice this, wherever we put our attention, that is what we're going to perceive. If we put our attention to negativity, well, we're going to be showered with negativity. If we go into a room negativity and put positivity, we will change that room completely. Just by the presence that we are. Because if you have two people who have the same problem, and one goes into a room and just starts complaining and just poison other people, and everybody's complaining and they're all paralyzed, they don't do nothing. And the other one, before he got to the room, he realized what's going to do, and he's not going to complain anymore, because nothing will get done. He will just take action what is supposed to be done. And this is when I find out some mastery that I mastered completely, and it was giving me just a life of hell. And that mastery was the mastery of complaining. Doesn't matter how little, how big, complaining is complaining. And when we no longer complain, we will change our automatic mind, because this mind is like a computer. If someone gives you an old used computer, you have the power to delete everything that you don't want from that system and reprogram it. Because the computer is put into the wall. But the moment the computer is shut down, it's no longer. This is why one of my friends once said to me, well, Jose, I won't walk that way because I'm living my life a certain way, because when I die, I will have no problems anymore. And I said, dude, when you die, you're not going to have a mind anymore. The responsibility is to take action right here and right now. And this is what made me understand what being a shaman and nagal is. When we're little, we're in school or we're with our parents and we're going against ourselves, and we get that finger of love, that ruthless love. Well, the moment that we become in that position of nagalism or shamanism is when we no longer expect no one to put the finger at us. We're doing it to ourselves. We know exactly right or wrong. We know truth and lies. We know positivity and negativity. That's why I like driving in my car jamming Bob Marley, because he sings a song. Positive vibration, yeah. That's what it's all about. Positivity is the light that can clear everything. And the positivity is so beautiful because that's the light that we are. We can light up a most beautiful, beautiful room wherever we go. And it doesn't matter if they don't see us. It's not even more beautiful if they don't see us, because the radiation is so big that then is when we feel the attraction, the magnetism. This is beautiful. This is the future. That is love. The other day, I was with my father sitting in a patio, and it was my brother's little baby. He was like 3 years old, and I was just so happy because he was picking up toy, playing with it, detaching from it, getting another toy, playing with it, and detaching it. And I said to my father, this is so beautiful. He picks up a toy and just attaches and detaches, and it's so beautiful to see that. And he turns around, yeah, it's so beautiful, that's the same way I see you. But instead of playing with toys, you play with knowledge. And when I got that, it was like, wow. I believe that I'm something, but really, I don't know what I am. The only thing I know is I'm alive. Forget titles. Forget structure. It's right here, right now. Because we're changing all of the time. We're changing all of the time. And we are the ones, you know, that can heal this earth. Because Grandma told me many times, the real healer is the one that can heal itself from its own lies and poison. And this is when I believe that everyone in this earth is a healer, and that we can heal ourselves. And it's time to end superstition. This is what means for me the end of the Mayan calendar. I didn't read no archaeological books because I was raised to speak from my heart. Because if I don't speak from my heart, if I'm just following what the book says, I just become a parrot. I don't understand. But when I notice this, it's the end of superstition. And I'm not talking about the stories, the mythology. You know, they're beautiful, describing humankind and lifekind. I'm talking about giving power to somebody else to heal us. And have that respect to heal ourselves. Because our generation saw our ancestors going for somebody healing. But just imagine, in this change we're doing, we start to heal ourselves. Who's going to watch us heal ourselves? The little ones. And they're going to change the whole this world lives in. And those little ones are going to have so much consciousness, and they're not going to fight the government. They're not going to protest or complain. They're just going to take the action. And you know what? This is what Buddha did. This is what Krishna did. This is what Jesus did. This is what every human that is not mentioned in the books did. Because they believe in themselves and they believe in their freedom. We have the torch inside of us. We have the freedom. We just have to speak our voice and not be afraid to not let that old nervous system stop us. Because I found out something interesting in my life. That every time I feel nervous system or I feel any kind of emotion, it's God talking to me. And He's saying, take action and protect me. Protect me. Because just imagine if you have a little baby who can't walk but is afraid to cross a bridge that has very deep. What are you going to do? Common sense, you're going to pick the baby up and you're going to cross him over the bridge and say everything's okay. The same thing with this beautiful body that we have. It feels the fear, it feels the nervous system, but it's just God talking to us and say, let not this stop you from living your dream and taking action to manifest your dream. You walk among fire and you will not get burned, and that manifestation will be true. And this is when I notice we may not manifest Vibhuti. We may do miracles from the old point of view of the history, but we manifest something that all humanity does, and we manifest love. And that's the soul food. Because from this point on, even when you know somebody, you can feel that connection. Because it's respect. And when you have respect for yourself, for your half, and you meet someone who has respect for themselves and doesn't try to control you or own you, this is the most beautiful relationship. And this is the relationship we have with a community. A community that we're starting. And it begins in our own home. Just remember, culture is in our hands, and we've been poisoning our culture with negativity, screaming, and sometimes we say we got a good excuse. I had a bad day, I'm tired. It's never an excuse. It's just a returning fix for that old addiction to suffer again. But remember where you are now, with gratitude for whatever happened to us, the good moments or the bad moments, but those actions were meant to happen because they happen. And now, the legacy is in our hands. What are we going to do? Legacy is what we're going to share. And I have a little example about legacy. Just imagine, there's this parent with his kid in the back seat, 5-year-old, and he enters the freeway, the 101 at 4:30 in a weekday. And he's so impatient. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be here. The negativity starts coming out. Then someone just, gets in front of him and he starts fighting. He gets out of the car and go to a fight. What happens 20 years later? Well, the kid knows how to drive now. And not only that, he knows how to be impatient. He gets into traffic, and the same story repeats itself, where it all could have changed. When a parent gets stuck in traffic, feel the uncomfortableness, but get comfortable in the discomfort. That's my mission right there. Showing that kid right there. Okay, someone just passed me over. I feel the reaction. Okay, what's gonna do? Well, let's do this. Okay, get the CD box. Get a CD out. Let's say the Beatles Let It Be, and place it in. And start singing Let It Be with your kid. What happens 20 years later? Well, the kid knows how to drive. Same circumstance, they get stuck into traffic, someone cuts them off. The CD comes out and he's singing, and another kid begins singing again. This is how we keep the Beatles legacy alive. And when we keep the Beatles legacy alive, it's because you know that it was built with positivity. And they were speaking words of truth for what's in their hearts. So whenever someone comes and speaks from their heart, you can feel a connection. And when someone comes to you offering you a gift that they don't really understand, you can feel the connection. This is the beautiful part of being a Toltec, of being an artist. To have that respect for all human and totally understand the mastery of forgiveness. Because to forgive is to almost feel, the Creator watching through your eyes and forgiving all His children and not hurting yourself with what's going on in the world. And just imagine, if we don't hurt ourselves with what's going out in the world, then we become immune to the poison of generations. And here's the good part. Here we are now. Here we are now. There is nothing to learn. It's just to unlearn what makes you uninspired. Because just like when someone goes to a doctor and he feels uninspired, well, the doctor says, oh, well, you are suffering from depression. Here's some medicine to numb you because you cannot control it yourself. And then it gets bigger, 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 but it's all it is. When one feels this depression, it's just for you to be there with you. That's why I imagine the story when they were telling me about Jesus in the desert. He's talking to the snake when no one else. I totally understand that, because it is when one feels in pain. Like, I prefer to go into a room alone instead of passing the poison to the people I love. And you know who's the snake? It's myself. I'm saying, no, Jose. Good excuse, but no, you may feel the uncomfortableness, but it's not true. You're here to filter. This is the dream of Archangel Michael. Let the light come to my presence. The truth is here. And the truth doesn't care to be debated. With this conscious awareness, we can go into any temple, and we know that is the house of God. Any temple, any church is the house of God. Any way of life is the house of God. We go beyond the word and feel the authenticity. And this is the interesting part. They say that first was the word, and the word was God, and the word was with God. And when did it happen? When we use the word against ourselves. When we use God against ourselves. There's wars happening out there in the name of God, in the name of my God is better than your God, my truth is better than your truth. And there's even artists fighting, my art is better than your art. Art is art. I remember being in Shirdi in India, and I remember seeing a beautiful person just dancing away, singing bhajans and dancing away, and just celebrating life. And I hear two persons talking to each other, and one says to the other person, well, that person is crazy. And the other one responds, yeah, he may be crazy, but he's completely happy and in love. Are you happy and in love? No. Then who's crazy? Love for life unconditionally, because in love there are no conditions. You just respect your beloved, you respect your friends to do whatever they do. Because How do we learn? We learn from our mistakes. We taste a food and we know if we like it or not, but we cannot say we don't like it if we don't taste it. This is the beautiful part about life. One of my last teachings of my grandmother that she gave to me, I remember very clearly. She was in a workshop and she was in the middle, and my grandma, this beautiful at that time she was 95-year-old curandera from Mexico. Very strong woman. But she was giving a lecture and she was giving a break, so she sat down. And when she sat down, somebody approached her. And she said, the lady who approached her said, "Oh, Mother Sarita, I think my husband's cheating on me. I don't know what to do. I think he's doing this and doing that and doing that." And my grandmother, with firm eyes, says, "I don't deal with that anymore. Please get out of my presence." And I was watching her. I go, "Oh my God, she just didn't do that." And it was like she was reading my mind. And she turns to me and says, "Yes, I did that, and I did that for you. Come here." She said to me, "It took me until I was 70 years old to figure this out. If I continue living this way, feeling jealousy, envy, hatred, I'm gonna die this way because I've seen many of my brothers and sisters do this. You're young right now. You're young right now. Don't have that thing in your mind. Don't have that thing in your mind because you are the love of your life. How can you be jealous of yourself?" You know, grandmother's love is in all of us. When we carry this torch because we're going to be those grandparents. I remember the old saying of the grandfather when they put us in front of the bonfire and he's telling stories. And then it comes to a particular story. He says, "Okay, now is the time when I'm going to get you, the apprentices, and I'm going to throw you into the jungle. And some of you will not come back." And they throw them. And then they talk amongst themselves. The elder says, "Yeah, they're going to come, some might not come, but if the persons who are going to come, when they come back to this place, they're going to come back and take the seat and tell the stories themselves. Tell the stories of life." And this, it is the most beautiful dream, to be aware of our experiences and filter them and share it with the young ones, and they're going to share it again and again and again. We're just here for a little time, passing this beautiful information, because this is what we're here for. We're here to reflect each other and to love one another, no matter if they don't love us back. This is our golden time. This is the sun time, and it's radiating right now. What good excuse do you have to sacrifice yourself in front of the pyramid and kill your dreams? Let's make history before we forget ourselves. Let's make history before we forget ourselves, because it's going to come a day when we were going to forget ourselves when we die. Let's make history and make a change and live our dream, because that is what a dream mastery is. You know, for many times I thought that I was the little fly getting stuck in the dream catcher, until the day I realized I am the whole dream catcher, and what dream I'm going to catch next. And we all are the dream catchers as well. We're catching dreams, we attach to them, and sometimes we attach to dreams that are negative, and we live in suffering, and we cannot let go, because we are driven by two emotions that poison the human mind, and that's guilt and shame. And guilt and shame is like a spirit that can fit into any container, and that containers any action to do in life. This is when we have to be aware it happened. It's gone, it's past now. Let's learn from the mistake, and if we're truly sorry, we will not say sorry. We will walk our path. We will walk it with action. And this it is when we shed our skin, like the snake did. The spirit animal, the inspiration. You know, in the old tradition, they say the nagal is the word that says that is the man or woman who can transform itself into an animal at night. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But the truth is, it's not that it becomes an animal at night. No, it's that we take the form of the animal. We take the form of the jaguar and we throw ourselves into the jungle and we begin to stalk. And what are we stalking? We're stalking our own mind. We're stalking ourselves. And the moment that we stalk ourselves and we know our automatics, it comes an evolving of the dream is when we become the eagle knight. And the eagle knight is the one who sees the own creation as it is. Who sees everything as it is. And when it has positivity of seeds to be planted, they will put it in. That's why many times we keep walking and then we end up a place where we're not supposed to be. But the truth is that we're supposed to be there because we're there. But you know, we didn't expect to go that direction. But some message come delivering to us. Or we give a message or a message was given to us. This is so beautiful to feel the revelation of angels. Because we all are angels. Or whatever you want to name it, but that union of humanity. This is when they say that an angel fell from grace. That was the devil. And then one began to corrupt another one and another one and another one. And then the whole dream of the angels was, you know, forgotten. Pray outside of the angel, he will listen. And here's another teaching that I received from my ancestors. I was in Monte Albán, Oaxaca, and my grandmother and my father said to me, okay, you're going to enter the cathedral church, and you're not going to walk out of there until you talk to an angel. I said, oh my God, I'm going to be here forever. So I begin. First, I begin talking to the angel, asking, please, give me strength. Please, do this for me. Please, resolve this problem. Please, give me light. Move these mountains from me so I can pass in. A little excuse, but now I call it stupidity that I was doing for my own problems. But now in that moment, something interrupted me. When I was just, you know, being victim, please help me outside. Somebody interrupted me by tapping my shoulder. And I opened my eyes and I looked and it was this beautiful old lady. And she said, if you pray, the angel will listen. And she walked away. I don't know what she meant. She walked away. I go back to my victimization. And then after hearing myself pray, I said, hold a minute. I'm listening to my own prayer. That means I'm my own guardian angel. I've always been. I just didn't want to take responsibility or trust in myself and have faith in myself. And the moment I walked, I went running and said, I talked to an angel. And this is when I learned that if I can put all my faith into a person in my altar, a picture of someone in my altar that died many years ago that I didn't even meet or met, how difficult can it be to take a picture of myself, place it in the altar, and have all that faith to myself? And it's not disrespecting the teacher that lived many years ago that I didn't even meet or met. No, it's respecting it. That I listen and I'm ready to take action and have faith in oneself. And this is when we can move the word with power. Because you know with the word, you create negative magic or you create divine magic, positivity. Because if you go and curse to somebody, that's negative magic. You're putting a spell on them and you're putting a spell on yourself. But the moment that you are now impeccable with your word, then you begin to place your seeds and walk this life as the messenger that you are. You know, you don't know where you're going to be in 5 years from now. In one place of mother you're going to be 5 years from now. But you do know where you're going to be inside of you. Because you are here to just take care of the love of your life. I love saying this prayer every day. Life, protect me from myself. I'm ready to take the action. I'm ready to take the step. No excuses anymore. If life gives us problems, it's because it believes that we can overcome it. That's why the power of self-faith is so important. Because if we believe in ourselves, we can resolve that problem, we will. And just know that if we don't resolve that problem, someone else will. There's 6 billion people in this earth, or maybe more, maybe less. It's an honor to serve. It's an honor to serve. Awareness is for the earth. Awareness is something that's given to us, and you know, we give it back. And when we give it back again and again and again, it's like we are receiving it. And when we do this dance, it's like being in an abandoned theater, when no one came to see us, when no one came to listen to us. It's just us in that theater. We are in that stage and we are in that seat. We're watching ourselves and we are performing. That if we perform a play of sadness, common sense, we will feel sadness in that seat. We play a play of happiness and joyfulness, we will feel joy and happiness. And this is the beautiful part of it, to feel you're giving yourself that message, because the abandoned theater is inside of us. We are feeding ourselves, and this is the power of attention. Just imagine that you go to a glass shop store, and those glasses, you know, is the glasses of love, the glasses of jealousy, the glasses of positivity, the glasses of negativity. If you put the glasses of negativity, you will see everything negative. You put the glasses of positivity, you'll see everything positive. Remember, where you put your attention is how you will open your own vortex, because your own vortex is made by your spirit, your essence, your being. And it's being reflected to every mirror. Just like if you are negative and you go to someone you love, you're passing that negativity to that person. It's time to be the clean mirror. To know that this is just a vehicle. When this dies, it's getting back to mother. It's just lent to us, because we are that force, you know. It's proven in physics. To move an object, you need force. But who's moving this microphone? The hand. But who's moving this hand? The mind. But who's moving the mind? This is the beautiful part, when we know that we are just this source of living being. Gratitude to be alive. Like I said earlier, we're just like eagles that we're gonna fly somewhere where we come from. In this moment, let's send our positivity to all the negative part in our life, the ones who are stuck in that dream. Let's send them our love. Let's watch them at the point of your Creator. Children will be children. I'll no longer give you the power to take you personally to hurt myself. I'm now here, healing myself and offering you a gift, a clean mirror. Return to authenticity is return to respect. Now, I would like to share with you the fifth agreement. My friend said to me, "What is the fifth agreement, Jose?" I said, "It's skeptical, but to learn to listen. To be skeptical, but to learn to listen." And he said, "Jose, that sounds very negative." I say, it's negative if you think negative, but just think if you think positive. Just see that you'll be skeptical against yourself. Every time you say you're not beautiful, that you're not meant for love, you will not believe it anymore. The power of being the messenger that you truly are. Love for life, unconditionally. We all are the artists. We all are the Toltec. We all are alive. Let's make history before we forget ourselves and say thank you to the Mother. And every day of our life, heal ourselves with our own stories, with our own actions, with our own way of life, because the only way you will get far to your own heaven is your own way, not anybody else's way. They may give you tips, but then at the end, you walk your own path. You give yourself the gift that was a top of a gift. And this is, you know, the wedding day. And the great part is, it's an eternal honeymoon. Thank you everybody for your love. Oh, One more thing. I would want to ask a favor from all of you. Please help me to change the world. But not the world outside of us, the world inside of ourselves. Because when we change the world, the ripple has begun, and we are the ripple. Thunderstorm in that bottle. Thank you. Yes.